and welcome back to my channel, Jamie Fair in Colors. I am Jamie and today we are going to do a beautiful picture from Zen Von Zed's Ladies of Leisure number 3. She says, this time it's personal. So these are beautiful grayscale pictures. And today we are going to do this picture right here. So let me tell you what I've done so far. This paper in this book is very thin. It's a Create Space. Is it by the Create Space? It doesn't say. But it's that type of paper. It's very thin. Reading to see. So what I did was I copied the picture onto Strathmore color pencil paper. It has the brown label. I think it's the 400 series. And then I've just painted the background black. So that's just all I've done. I used a Posca paint pen and a paintbrush. You've seen me do that on other videos. If you haven't, go back and watch other videos. So, yes, so this is just acrylic black matte paint in the background. Copied from this book. Alright, let's get started. My desk paper needs to be changed. And it hasn't been yet because it's a chore to do and I just haven't felt like it yet. So, excuse that mess. You can see where I was painting this. Alright. Okay, I pulled some colors for the mushrooms. I have Prismacolor Premiers, 914, 1086, 1100, and 901. So let's start with that cream. And we're just going to go in to where we want the highlighted areas. So like where it's grayscale, I kind of give it to you. I don't do a lot of grayscale pictures, but I thought we'd give it a go. Kind of in that highlight. No pressure, just lightly laying it down. Okay, let's do a couple mushrooms. So let's, some yellow there, there. Okay. All right, then let's take the powder blue and lay down a light layer everywhere except where we put that cream. So we're just going to kind of work around it. You can go over it a little bit and kind of blend them in together. All the way down the stalks. These are light colors and light layers, so not much might be showing up on your screen yet. Hoping to go to the art store on Friday and I'm gonna have to order a new one of these pale, maybe sky, pale sky blue. Blue, yeah, pale, probably pale blue sky. Surprised I don't have another one. I usually order them off of Jerry's Artorama. And I usually stay on top of it so that they don't get too small before I have another one. But there we have one teeny tiny Dick Blick store in Salt Lake City. It's the only one in the state. And it is tiny, tiny, tiny. And they have so much stuff in there. But it's such a tiny store. But they do have pencils and paints and stuff, so I can I'll go there once in a while, but it's not a place I can take my children because they'll just knock everything over because it's so much stuff in such a small area. All right. Okay, then let's go with our darkest color, the indigo blue, and we want to go in those shadows. Because it's grayscale, it does kind of show us where those shadows would be. Just, you know, the darker places that they've grayed, that the artist has. You can always add others if you want. I think because of the way this is drawn, it's not in the greatest focus. Let me try one more time to focus it. That might be a little better. I think some of it's just the way that it's drawn. It's not the sharpest. I've noticed that about a lot of grayscale pictures though. They're not in the, they don't have the sharpest lines. And so sometimes that makes it hard to for the camera to focus on them. That's okay. We'll work with it. I'm not putting any pressure. This color is dark. It comes out really well. And you can build it by going over it a few times. It is supposed to be hot today, like close to 100. So we're kind of having a relaxing, stay in the basement, watch movies kind of day because it just gets too hot out there for them. I love spring and fall because then they're just out, my kids are outside all of the time and it's so nice. But then it gets, the deepest winter, we get really cold here. And so they don't want to be out there in it. I have one particular son who hates being cold. And then in the summer, it gets so hot and dry that it's just hard on him. You don't want him to dehydrate and be sick. So we have some days where we just kind of chill. We have other days where we go to the splash pad or turn on the sprinklers, but I'm still recovering from a vicious ear infection, where I also had some other autoimmune kind of things creep up all of a sudden. It was pretty bad. So my psoriasis broke out on my face, which hurts like crazy. So annoying, all the skin like starts flaking off your face. And then I got a mouthful of canker sores and a horrible ear infection and horrible headache and low-grade fever. It was nice. So I'm on the up and up and feeling pretty good, but still don't have a lot of energy to chase him at the park or anything, so movie day it is. They can have one of those once in a while. Alright, this is looking good. This is nice. If you don't have a lot of experience with shading, grayscale coloring books might be a great place to start because they'll kind of give you a guide as to where to put those darker colors and what to keep lighter. So I just haven't, they're just not what I reach for the most. That's okay. Alright, then let's go to China Blue, 1100. We're going to go right over that indigo blue and then just kind of fade it out a little bit. Work them together. Oh, here comes somebody. Okay, I brought a piece of this mushroom. It's back here behind her legs. We're going to go back in with that light blue. I think it's light sky blue. And then the indigo. And then that China blue, and that gets us so it's the same as everything else. Okay. So now let's darken those highlights a little bit. So let's go back in with the cream and go over those highlighted areas. I don't do everything in real time. I end up fast forwarding through a lot because I feel like the video would be forever long if I didn't. And then also it gives me the opportunity to kind of cut all the stuff out where my kids come in and talk to me, or my husband, or my kids. They're in and out of here all day long, so if I'm in here, they're in and out. They gotta be able to talk to me, but I don't want all of that on film, and so I'll like continue to color and talk to them, but then you just get a fast forwarded, no sound version of that so that you don't have to hear all of their stuff. They're good kids. A little over there. That's good. I'm liking this. Okay, we'll keep that close by. We might want it again. Let's go with that 1086. We're going to blend this out a little bit. So we're going to go over all the blue, putting a little bit of pressure this time. Doing circular motions. See if we can blend some of that color together. I'm skipping over where we have the yellow. We'll go back through one more time with the yellow to kind of blend the blue and the yellow together. Some of that blue down there. Alright, then let's go back in. Oh wait, we didn't get, did we get this? We did. Okay. Let's go back with the yellow. We're gonna blend it together. So you're gonna go over the top of the yellow that you already have and then feather it out into the blue, just so that it blends nicely. Okay. Alright, I like that. It kind of makes them look like some light is hitting them. So far, I like that. So just go ahead and do all the rest of your mushrooms just like that. And then I'll be back to help you with maybe your skin next. I think that would be good. Okay, I'm back. I got all the mushrooms done just with those 4 colors, and I think they look wonderful. Alright, so let's talk about her skin. I've pulled some colors for her skin. I think maybe we should zoom in a little further on her face. Let's see. Is that enough? We're gonna say it's enough. Okay, so I pulled some colors. We're gonna kind of go for kind of a neutral tone. So we're going to start with 927 Peach. Maybe this is another one that's little. Alright, and let's just put a base coat of that peach over her whole face. Okay, down her neck. I've noticed that Zen Von Zed's girls have really long necks. So, long neck, long limbs. Fingers. Okay. Alright, then I'm going to go to, let me decide. We'll just build up to our darkest and then go back down again. So this is beige, 997, and we're just gonna start adding some color. Going right over that peach. Leaving only where we want the highest highlights. Should probably be the middle of the forehead, center of our nose. Maybe a little right here on our cheek. And everything else we can put this beige in. Down our neck. Oh, her ear, don't forget her ear. I'll leave a little peach right there at the end. Maybe a little on her collarbone. Okay, then let's go with our next darkest color, which is going to be beige sienna. And we'll just go over the top of what we've already done and just not go out quite as far. So keep it a little more in the shadows. That nose would create a shadow. The mouth would create a shadow. My nose here. And then all of this that the artist has grayed. And then go out a little bit from that. Okay. Down her neck. Necks can be quite in the shadow just because you have your head casting a shadow onto your neck. skin can take a while. I'm doing it quick so that I don't have to edit so much and so the video is not so long. And I do a lot of people. I enjoy coloring people. So if you're new to people, then take your time. It's okay. Alright. Okay, so that was our third color. Let's go in to Sienna Brown. And we're going to put this in the shadows and not bring it out as far as we did the beige sienna. Okay, so this is going to be, and hopefully this will add a little bit of warmth because of all that gray on the page. I feel like we are losing some warmth, so I'm hoping this color will kind of bring a little bit of that into her skin. Take this side a little bit. Yeah, I like this, adding this brown over that gray ink. It's just kind of helping bring some warmth back to her skin. So that is good. Okay, let's okay. That looks really a lot better. Alright, so let's go in with some chocolate and deepen up some of the shadows that are also, so this is going to be a tighter shadow. We're not going to go out as far as we did with the sienna. And this is going in those areas that really need to look like they're back. Push back in those shadows. Okay. That looks good. I have one color darker, which is espresso. I'm trying to decide if there's any places that I feel need it. I think I'm gonna put it right here, this hairline, in the corner right there, right under her chin. Dress there. But I think that is it. Okay, then we're going to go back to the beige and we're going to blend it out. We're just not going to blend over the lightest area because we've got that peach that we're going to go over the top with as well. So add a little bit of pressure, but not too much pressure. Just a medium light pressure. We're going to blend out some of this. Down her neck. Don't forget her ear. Leave the very top of her ear for the peach. Okay, then let's go to that peach. 927 light peach. And let's blend in the rest. her face here. Okay, then I've got a couple of really nice highlights on the face. I'm going to go in with some cream. Go right down the middle of her nose and onto her forehead. And then right here on her cheek. Right down her neck there as well. Okay. So there she is so far. Okay, I zoomed in again. I want you to see, I'm hoping you can see, how I decide to blend my colored pencil really depends on how the colored pencil is working with the paper. And so sometimes blending with a lighter pencil like we did, you know, working that down works really well, and that's all you have to do. I think with this combination of paper and how it's reacting, how the pencils are reacting to it, you can see on this leg, we still have quite a bit of white coming through, and it's not as smooth as I would like. I don't know if you're being able to see that or not. There, I think you can see it now. We're really zoomed in now. This is as far as I can zoom in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a paper stump. You can buy these off of Amazon or at any art store. I'll try to link them down below. If I forget though, just go on Amazon and type in paper stump in art supplies. Search for paper stumps in art supplies and you'll find these. People use them for colored pencils and they use them for graphite, charcoal. They're a great tool. And I'm going to use a little Gamsol, some odorless mineral spirits. And I'm just going to dip it in there and then kind of shake it off so I don't have any dripping or anything. I just want a little bit of Gamsol on there. And then I'm going to use that to blend out my colored pencil. And the paper stump is nice because you can use pressure on the paper stump to help smooth down the tooth of the paper. So sometimes not even using the Gamsol is necessary, just a paper stump and letting it press down the tooth of the paper can really help. But the Gamsol will help just break down the color pencil a little bit and help it smooth out a little bit further too. So you see the difference in that already. I'd use Gamsol with a paintbrush too, then you're not pressing down the tooth of the paper, but that can help if you have arthritis or pain in your hands and can't put that much pressure. Using a little odorless mineral spirits can help blend the color pencil out even without the pressure of the paper stump. So just use a paintbrush and try it if you can't use that much pressure. Okay. Just dipping it in the Gamsol again, shaking it off. Okay, so that's helped quite a bit. And you can go back over it with more color pencil if you feel like you need more color. Okay, so now let's do this arm. Dip it in the Gamsol, shake it off. Let's take a good look at it, see what it looked like when we start this process. And then we'll go in. These paper stunts come in all different sizes. You can get a pack of them for very inexpensive that will come with different sizes. So you can get ones like teeny tiny. So this is the one we've been using. You can get them a lot smaller or a lot bigger. So they come in all sorts of sizes, so use whatever size works best for your project. Okay, so that helped quite a bit. I don't know if it's showing how big a difference on camera, but it is quite a big difference in real life. Okay, Gamsol will also help break down the colored pencil. So if you have quite a bit of wax build up, if you smooth it out with some Gamsol, you can go back in and layer more colored pencil on top. So yeah, you can just go right back over the top. So this is that light peach again. You can go right back over the top of lay down some more color on anything you feel needs it. Yeah, I think that helps smooth her out quite a bit. Okay, before we move on, let's take a little bit of that light sky blue and let's just put that in the white of her eye just a little bit, just to give it a little dimension. And then we need to put a little color on her lips. So I think we'll use maybe the beige sienna and then maybe a little henna. So let's go ahead and put that henna in. And a few spots. Kinda in the corners kind of in the shadows of her lips, and that grayscale will help you with that. Okay. And then let's add, I feel like that's not in focus. And we'll just take that beige sienna that we used on her skin, and let's put some of that in, and then I think we'll even go with a little of the peach to really blend it. So bring this right over the top of the henna, blending it out a little bit. And then we're going to take that light peach and really blend it out with that. Gives a little color but makes it look like it goes with her skin tone because you've used some of those colors from her skin tone. Just going back in with that henna and darkening anything I want darker. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's move on. So on her outfit here, she kind of has one garment and then an overgarment. You're gonna see that she's kind of got a shirt or a dress underneath, almost like it's a leather armor or something over the top. So because we made the mushrooms blue, the opposite of blue on the color wheel is orange, and so they will look good next to each other. So we're going to do her undershirt, or her underdress, because it does come down here. We're going to do that orange. So let's go with a goldenrod, 1034, and we're going to put a coat of that all over that undergarment. Okay, and so it's kind of busting at the seams, this top layer, so make sure you get in between all the little areas. Okay, look and see if we missed anything that I think should be this underdress. I'm not seeing anything. So let's go to the darkest color I pulled for this. Okay, let's take this pumpkin orange, 1032. And let's get that in the shadows. Okay, then let's go to our mid-tone, which is going to be Mineral Orange, 1033. Blend that out a little bit. Go right over the pumpkin orange and then out a little bit more. Okay, then let's go back to that goldenrod and blend it together. I feel like there's like a dry spot in my pencil. I think we might leave a few more highlights to put in, so I'm not taking that all the way to the edge because I think we could put in another lighter color. Toddlers. He's down there throwing a grand mal tantrum because he doesn't need a nap. Yep. He's totally proving his point that he doesn't need a nap. I've told him if he can prove to me that he can go without throwing tantrums, then he won't have to take naps. But he keeps throwing the tantrums. So, we'll keep doing the naps. Oh, they're just at that age where they think they know everything. They're in charge of everything. And they can do everything. It's a very difficult age for the mom, I think. Because I just want to do it so we can move on with our lives instead of take 20 minutes to do the same job. And I'm trying to find that balance of letting them do it for themselves and not spending all day waiting for them to do it. Okay, let's put some cream on the ends. I think that will just give it a little lightness. So 914 cream. Just kind of pull some of that orange down in there, but leave it bright. I think that will be nice. Okay, I think that looks really pretty. This is my messy desk, but you see that how that orange just goes really well with that blue. pull colors to do the kind of leather armor, kind of a brownish reddish color. I think that will work. Let's try that. So we're going to start with burnt ochre, 943. Let's do a piece up here just so we see. Okay, let's do some of this and then I'll do the rest. Let's see, let's go in with some espresso and get in the darkest shadows. Maybe we'll do our kind of the top area here. Okay. Then we're going to grab some mahogany red and go over those browns and pull it out. Okay, then let's go back with that burnt ochre. Go over, I'm still not going to press, I'm just going to go over it and then we're going to use maybe sandbar brown or something to tone it down a little bit, to blend it out the rest of the way. Yeah, let's use sandbar brown and we're gonna go over all of it and just kind of tone the red down a little bit. All right, then let's take some cream. Pop it a few of those highlights. Alright, there we go. And I'll go ahead and bring that all the way down, the rest of her. And then I will be back to do her hair and this, I don't know, some sort of embellishment. So I'll be back. Okay, we have the leather done, and I used a Posca paint pen to just fill in, to make those, the stitching white again. They were too small to try to keep out of the leather colors, so I just go back in and use a Posca paint pen and just put them back in. So that's what I did there. So I figured out a hair color. We're going to do kind of a blonde, and so let's zoom in and do that. Okay. Okay, so let's take Jasmine, 1012, and we're going to put that as our base layer on her hair. Okay. Then we're going to take sepia, which is going to be our darkest color. We're going to put it in the shadow areas. So wherever the illustrator has given you those shadow areas, you can also add any others you feel. Okay, then let's move to light umber and continue out from that sepia. So again, instead of doing circular motions, I'm kind of flicking the color in, and I'm starting in that shadow where that sepia was. That's what we use, sepia. And flicking it out past the sepia. Okay. Wow, it really doesn't like to stay in focus, does it? Okay, then let's take yellow ochre and do the same thing. Just flick out past the light umber. Okay, then we take Jasmine again and go over it again with that flicking, just working our way out. Okay. Oh, it's showing up very light on my monitor right now. Okay, then take your cream and fill in any of those spots that might be good for highlights that just your pencil hasn't quite made it to. Or to smooth out anything that needs to be smoothed out. Okay, that looks really good. And that is all there is to her hair. Let's see if I can get it to show a little better color. That's a little better. So this ribbon, we are doing blue, a little different than the mushrooms. I'll do some of it and then I'll do the rest of it off camera, and then we'll talk about finishing touches. We're going to use this light sky blue and we're going to put it on the ribbon, but we're going to make sure we leave some highlights, kind of like we did with the mushrooms. We're going to make sure we leave some highlights. So like that looks like wherever the brightest spots are, don't cover it with blue. We want more highlight than we did with the mushrooms. Okay. That is probably part of her hand. Do we think? Maybe it's the ribbon. We'll color it as ribbon, but you might want to color it as hand. I'm not sure on that one. So it's just going to depend on how you color it. I think either way will work. Okay. Let's see if I can. Is that as close as we can get it? Okay. Sorry I cannot get this picture in as focused as I would like. Not sure. I think it's in focus until I push record, and then I feel like it's not in focus again. So I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's not as bad on your screen as it is on my monitor. Okay, so then we're going to take a Copenhagen 906 and go in the really dark shaded spots. Okay, then take that light sky blue again and blend out that Copenhagen, making sure to leave those highlights. And we want a lot more of them than we did on the mushrooms. I wish this was filming better. Okay, then take cream 914 and blend out the rest of that, giving us that highlight that we want. Okay. See that? Okay, let's do the other side real fast and then we can talk about finishing touches. Alright, let's talk about some finishing touches for her. I love the way she is looking. So first of all, the threads on her tunic or her garb there, her outfit, are a little stark white. And we want more of an unbleached thread kind of look. So we're going to take, let's take, oh, that's not what I wanted, jasmine. Yes, let's take jasmine and let's just go over those threads a little bit. Just lightly give them a little bit of color so they don't stand out quite so much, but they also don't blend into the rest of the tunic. All right. Okay, that just tones that down just a little bit. And then I think we need some stars in the sky, some texture in the background. So we have a couple ways we could do that. We can just take a Posca white paint pen and just dot some around, or we could use some white acrylic paint and a brush, or even an old toothbrush. So just some white acrylic paint and an old toothbrush. You just want to water down your paint a little bit. So I just have a little lid here. I'm going to put a couple of dots of paint on this lid. That's good. And then wet my paintbrush so it's sopping wet, and then kind of drop some of those waters from the paintbrush over onto the lid. And mix it together with the paintbrush. Okay. Kind of get that paintbrush kind of saturated in that wet, watered down paint. And then we're going to kind of use this piece of paper to kind of cover up some of our work. And then we're going to take the paintbrush and just run our finger along it. Nope. Your finger will get wet and paint on it, but that's okay. Oh my goodness, this might be too watered down. Let's add a little more paint to it. Paint to water ratio. Let's add some more paint. Make it a little thicker. I usually do not have this problem, but of course, today I am. It's been one of those weeks. Anything you don't like, you can go back over with a black paint pen, so don't worry about it. Alright, then let's move our paper. Kind of cover another section. I'm going to dry off the paintbrush a little bit, see if I can't. Geez, do a little better. I usually don't have this problem. Okay. Okay, this technique will give you like big ones, little ones. They won't all be the same size. If I used a Posca paint pen, they would be more predictable. And so this is kind of nice to kind of keep it random. A little more. You can always go in and make some bigger ones with the Posca paint pen if you want some bigger ones. So just keep covering what you don't want, adding stuff where you do want. Okay, all right. And I'm just going to clean off my lid. going to take a black Posca paint pen and just fix some of those areas that I don't necessarily like, that splattered a little. Just gonna okay. All right, there we go. That just gives some background texture. You can add any more that you want. You can use your Posca paint pen to make some bigger ones or to pull some out. Make any ones bigger that you want bigger. Just cute stuff. And then I think one more thing that I would like to add is that on these mushrooms, I would like a little bit of shine to them, a little bit of glitter. And there's a couple things you could use. So you could use, oh, I don't know where I put it, stickles. They have a lot. Stickles are more 3D and you kind of have to tap them down into your paper. So instead, I use stickles sometimes. I have them around here somewhere. But I like these Spectrum Noir sparkle pens. And they're like Wink of Stella pens. If you know what Wink of Stella are, they're just a little more, little cheaper. And I talked about them in our marker video. So you just squeeze the barrel and that lets the ink flow to the brush tip. And then just brush it on your page. And I'm just going to put this in the highlight areas and I'll show you in a minute what it kind of does. This one is called Crystal Clear. And it's my favorite because I can go over any color and it won't affect the color on my paper. The pen's a little bit wetter than I like. That's okay. Might just take it a few more minutes to dry. Okay. So I'm just adding this pen to those highlighted areas on my mushrooms. And I think I'll go ahead and come up and put some on our ribbon as well in the highlight areas. And it's probably, right now you're not seeing much. I will bend my paper in a minute so you can see kind of what it's done. You can put as much or as little of this as you want. Okay. All right. So let me show you these mushrooms. You see that? How they've given it a nice, just kind of shine, reflectant quality to them. And the ribbon, same thing. Just a nice shine. Okay, let me zoom out. You can see the whole page and my messy desk. And yeah, we'll say our goodbyes. Let's see here. So here she is. Let's add just a little bird over to this. A little rope around her ankle. And a little cream. Blend it out. Okay, that's good. All right, I think she is done. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for that. I hope that I'm doing something that you can learn and apply in your own coloring. So if you like this video, want more videos like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun things, hit the bell icon, whatever else YouTube wants you to do, so that you can get notified when I post, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Currently right now on Wednesdays we have a mini series going on where I'm teaching fantasy skin tones. So if you're interested in that, come back on Wednesday. And you can find that playlist as well. Man, my hands are messy this time. Yeah, so I hope you find time to relax, enjoy yourself, have a little coloring time, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!